everybody, I'm Giuseppe Vasili, also known as the FibStalker. Thanks for watching this daily and intraday review. Today is March 13th, 2018, and it's 10 minutes to 3 p.m. EST time in Toronto. So welcome. This video is part of the FibStalker and Asian trading service. As usual, I ask you to read and accept the usual disclaimer if you have not done that yet. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and trading forex carries a high level of risk and might not be suitable for all investors. All right, so let's dive into this market. We'll start from the the SP 500, and as you know, this market has hit the second target of this 4-hour measure move to 2006.95 into first and second target. As you can see, the market over and around previous highs, profit taking, and now it's trading into that extension along the 27.73. Okay, so we'll see where this is a range, and the market will come back to 26.59. That's likely if price pierces the 27.65. All right, so there is a possibility for an extended range here in case this level is broken. Dollar index. We have seen weakness in the dollar index, as you can see here. This market is still trading on top of the 50% that so far has held. Talking about the 89.10 level here, and that's the area that we have seen has been tested now twice. And we're going to see whether this is going to be a successful test and will be capable of reversing this market or not. Okay, so the gold and silver here have gained on that dollar index weakness. Gold could at this point retest the 1332. And of course, I made the case for a range market only if the dollar index would continue higher, but we don't know that yet. So at this point, this market continues in this range on top of 1304 and could actually retest the all the way back 1332. Silver. This market is also trading laterally here, and a retest of 17 is possible if this market continues higher. All right, so not really a lot to do in this market, as they are ranging, and there is very little edge in trading this market. $1 US dollar, it's has been correcting here in the last hour. When we look at the sequence of measure move, we have a market moving higher into previous highs, moved lower, traded the 50% here of the move lower, but it actually reacted before continuing lower here, and because the bears here also failed to support this price in the move lower, then we still have to assume here that the bears are still in control. Okay, so it's possible for this market to continue here after this bounce, continue into the first target and potentially even the second target. Okay, so something to watch going forward this week. Euro dollar has had a big push higher here on top of that 50%, and also pierced the 50% short from previous highs here. It has targets above. We're gonna see again. It all depends on the dollar whether it reverses or not. Don't forget the dollar index has a failed aggressive move here, and this could just be the move higher before a reversal. So we don't know that. But it's very technical market, as you can see, and it has traded the 29, the 22, 99, 23, 123 level. Pound versus Australian dollar. This market has traded a short here. The market then reacted higher and broke that measure move there. So The next measure move for a continuation of shorts will be from highs to lows, and this is not in play yet. If that comes into play and reverses price, we could see a continuation lower into 135.61. All right, so that's what we see in these markets. US dollar, Canadian dollar, big push on top of that extension long, very technical market as well, from highs to new highs. This area participated, and we saw it did that big push. Now putting in jeopardy this 50% short. In fact, if the price gets above 131.34, then we're going to look for even a higher retrace here into the 133.77. So at the moment, technical market, there are targets above. First target 130.76, second target 131.96, 132. US dollar, Swiss franc. This market has broken the extension long that we mentioned 2 days ago here, and it is trading the 50% short of this inner move in here, and this move is still in play, the long. What is in play at the moment is the 50% from lows to highs. This is the inner move within this move higher, and that has found a little bit of participation here on hopes that this market could, that the dollar could continue higher. The the 50% of the larger move on the daily time frame here has the potential to bring price into the 96.16. All right, US dollar, Japanese yen. This market has seen weakness here, and basically, it's not really. We have the lows to previous size here. That has not played yet. At this point, we're going to replace it with the new lows to highs, the 50% on 626, and see whether the market is going to find participation at that level. The general US dollar has had another push higher. Now it's correcting along with the Australian dollar here. It has hit the first target, so the next measure move in this sequence is going to be lows to highs. Trace from the lows of this daily swing, and on the 4-hour time frame here, we can see the same level at lows to highs. We can see the same level at 072, 073, and we will see whether that's capable of keep pushing higher this market. US dollar, Singapore dollar seem to have broken down here from the consolidation here, but this might be always a false break, so we don't know, and so we need still time to wait here and see whether these markets are going to reverse or not. Moving to the main, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar strong, and basically these markets are strong. All the markets with the trading with the Canadian dollar are all pretty strong actually, and in this market I'm going to use the traditional here that has hit the first target. It has targets above that line up with the targets of the 97.933 from previous measure move here. Okay, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. This market is at the moment moving lower and selling here. So what we saw, we saw participation from that 50%, and something is coming in here. We need to discover what it is it that is currently pushing this price lower. So it's an extension, and it's an extension that it's not known. So we're going to use the 85.58 and that's going to give us targets and a possibility for new trades if this market bounces. Okay, so the 81 86 could be retested as well, so be always careful there. Euro Australian dollar. So this market has not has reacted from the extension here. So let's see the highs to new highs. Let's see if that has traded. That has not traded here. So this market is, let's see what is reacting to. So I'm going to use the low here from previous swing low here, and that's good enough for now. We'll see whether this market is going to come back and trade any 50% on extensions. It's a very extended price here, and the opposing extension short here has not has found participation, very little participation here, and it's now broken. So this market is actually continuing higher, and the another read is going to be the remember that the 50% here has traded into the first target. The next measure move, those has failed, so we cannot use that trace. That money likely to be in play here in this move. Okay, so we will adjust the traces as this market develops. Euro pound still in that lateral move. We saw a move higher, not very technical this market. The next measure move, if we consider the basket setup here, would be from lows to highs, and that is at the moment is holding, and it's what's holding this price higher, potentially into retest of 90.20. Okay, so that's what we see here in this market. Euro Canadian dollar also very strong. This market has traded the inner measure move here from highs to new highs, and it has been respected here to the pip, and that's what caused the continuation higher in this market. Okay, so that's high to high. This is a known anchor, and the market really is really continuing its move higher here. Remember that there is a second target of the larger measure move that is much higher, and that has not been reached yet. Okay, so talking about the this level here, and as you can see, the market is close, but that has not been reached yet, and that would be the 50% of this larger move here. Okay, so very technical market, and it continues moving higher, so we need to respect these moves. Euro Japanese yen. This market has traded the 50% long here, and actually pierced the extension short that I was using to model bears. The first target of the daily move starting at 130.68 has not been reached yet, but this move could continue higher, and that could actually happen. If that's the case, then look at potentially the next extension level here, and potentially the 50% short there. And the New Zealand dollar is also now trading a level that has not worked before. Now it's working. Bulls not supporting this price, bears not supporting this price. Lateral moving an upward bias here, and that's what we see in this market. Not really interesting from this point of view. Pound versus Australian dollar has traded the next potentially here. Let's see, it has not traded the full 50%, but it has held this inner move that failed before. So you know, this market trying to get back on track here. The larger setup still in play. It has targets above a first target 138 183, sorry, and so we're seeing this continuation higher here. Pound versus New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar here is the pound here. It's also pushing higher. The 50%, as you remember, has not held here. But this market is this market is kind of trapped between these two areas. So now it's actually continuing and getting moving higher into the 199.82, 191.82, which would be the top of this range that we're seeing at the moment. Okay, pound versus Canadian dollar. Pound versus Canadian dollar. This market also very technical. All the market trading against the Canadian dollar, moving higher on weakness of the Canadian dollar here. And this is an extension from highs to highs. You remember that we had low to highs here. This was an extension actually. Got into that first target, now yet into the second target. The aggressive trace here came into play and was respected, and that's why we show the start of that move. Pound versus Japanese yen here. The 50% of the daily move has hit the first target, and this market is now, there is now some profit taking in this market, which would actually bring this price into lows to highs, and that could actually bring price into the next measure move, 148.81. Okay. And finally, for this video, I'm going to review the New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. I will leave out the others, which are less interesting here. And this market has also traded the extension a few weeks back, and that was from highs to new highs here. And it has hit the first target last week and it's now pushing into the second target at 95.47. Okay, so this is it for this brief video, and happy trading, and I'll see you in the room. Bye bye now.